need to invest in AI-driven future.
It's day 2 of the Artificial Intelligence Summit and clearly the moving day here. We've seen a steady stream of leaders and CEOs coming in. They're here for a lofty mission to shape the future of artificial intelligence. As we've said, India and France are co-chairing this year. So Prime Minister Modi and President Macron walked in together. Also in the building were a number of stakeholders like Google CEO Sundar Pichai, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, leaders of the European Union, US Vice President J.D. Vance and China's Vice Premier. Modi and Macron interacted briefly with some of them. After that, it was time for remarks. Prime Minister Modi laid out India's AI vision. He talked about regulation and trust. But he also flagged the risks, like the inherent bias in AI models and the need for sustainable AI training. Prime Minister Modi also said India stands ready to host the next AI summit. Listen to this.
Friend, loss of jobs is AI's most feared disruption. But history has shown that work does not disappear due to technology. Its nature changes and new types of jobs are created. There is a need for collective global efforts to establish governance and standards that uphold our shared values, address risks, and build trust. Governance is also about ensuring access to all, especially in the global south. It is where the capabilities are most lacking.
We'll talk more about the summit, but for now let's focus on the duo of the hour. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Emmanuel Macron. Their bromance is undeniable. We saw proof of that yesterday. The Indian Prime Minister arrived in the evening. He got a ceremonial welcome at the airport. Later in the night, he was hosted at the presidential Elysee Palace. Macron greeted Modi on the red carpet. They exchanged handshakes and warm hugs. After that, they headed inside for dinner. Vice President J.D. Vance, US Vice President Vance, was also there. This was Modi's first interaction with Trump's deputy. Take a look at this.
And after that, we'll go together for the dinner.
It's a beautiful place. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
It's great to be here.
Somebody wants
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. So nice to see you.
Great victory.
Yes.
And that was all yesterday. Today, the focus turned to the AI summit. Both Modi and Macron spoke to the gathering. The Indian Prime Minister has one more engagement left in Paris, a meeting with top CEOs. After that, he will leave for Marseille. He's got a number of events lined up there, including the all-important Bilateral. This is Modi's 6th trip as Prime Minister to France. And under President Macron, their engagement has only increased. They met 3 times in 2024 alone. This time, we are expecting some key deals to be signed on defense sales, on nuclear energy, and on bilateral trade. We're talking about a very expansive relationship. Defense is a key pillar of that. France is the second biggest arms supplier to India. From 2019 to 2023, they made up 33% of India's arms imports, which is just 3% less than Russia. Together, India and France have led multiple global campaigns, like the International Solar Alliance in 2015 and this Artificial Intelligence Summit today. On Sunday, we asked President Macron point blank, which country do you see as your most important partner in Asia? Listen to his response. Which country is France's most important partner in Asia?
Je dirais l'Inde.
India.
If we asked Prime Minister Modi the same question, he would probably say France. Now the question is, what makes this equation tick? Why are India and France so close? We can break it down into 4 main factors. Number 1 is worldview. France has always believed in a multipolar world, just like India has. They may be part of alliances like NATO, but they chart their own path. Look at what happened in 1966. France pulled out of NATO's military command structure. Why? Because the leadership wanted an independent policy for France. And even today that holds true. Both Macron and Modi speak about strategic autonomy. That is also why France supports India's permanent membership in the UN Security Council. That is also why Macron does not speak on India's domestic issues, something that other European powers regularly do. So that is one important factor, their shared worldview. Factor number 2 is the defense ties. If you exchange weapons, you have to play nice because defense trade binds a relationship. You're selling lethal weaponry to another nation. You must help in repairs and maintenance. You must also share technology sometimes. It creates a lasting bond built on trust and respect, something that normal trade cannot do. Factor number 3 is personal diplomacy. French leaders deserve a lot of credit here. In 1998, when India tested a nuclear bomb, most Western nations condemned it. They also imposed sanctions on India, but the French leadership did not do that. French presidents have also travelled extensively to India. 6 times they have been chief guests at our Republic Day. The latest being President Macron in 2024. It shows personal investment in India, something that Indian prime ministers have also reciprocated. And finally, the 4th factor, the alignment of interests. Unlike other European countries, France is an Indo-Pacific power. They have an island called Reunion in the Indian Ocean. They also have overseas territories in the Pacific, like New Caledonia and French Polynesia. So France shares India's concerns about the Indo-Pacific, not as a matter of principle, but as a result of physical presence in the region. All these factors make this a special partnership. In geopolitics, there is nothing called a perfect relationship, though. But India and France have come pretty close. We're calling this show Vantage. We hope you like what we put together for you. Touted as the minimum defense from that video. India's neighbours were the first to send the special edition of Vantage live from the White House throughout this week. Hindu Mandir we're on our way to Tel Aviv. Pretty measure, but it's also the perfect way to drive.
I don't think that
Prime Minister of Bhutan, Sherin Tagwe. Welcome to
60% of the world's
office. Prime Minister Modi did the iron.
we were actually
How are you doing? How do you like? It's been 1 year since that meeting. Iron bars separate you from the outside. Out the vote effort. Trump had, it says, and at $4.3 trillion. 300 billion by 2030. That's what we need to tackle climate change.